Look, you just look at it and you say, this is going to be the first time. Now, I'm knocking on wood here because it seems like this time the last couple of years, there's always been an injury, like right before week 1. But this is going to be the first time in 3 years that we've seen this stout, on paper, top 5 offensive line play. Right.
Yeah, there should be no more contact in practice.
Right. No, I know that. But, the last couple of years, it wasn't even contact. It was some weird things like hand got caught in a jersey in a walkthrough type thing. You know what I mean? Like, It's like put these guys in bubble wrap until Thursday night. But this can be the first time we see this offensive line. And, John, I think we talked about it. Like, that's exciting. Last year, Vaitai was out the whole year. There was kind of rotating magical chairs there at the right guard position. Jonah missed a couple games. Before that, Decker was out, and then by the time he got back, Frank was on IR. So we never get to see these 5 guys play together. We're going to see that Thursday night. And that, for me, is a big reason why there's so much optimism around this team. I don't think it's necessary. And look, Jared Goff was really good the last 10 games of the last year. We know that. He took care of the football. He wasn't turning it over. But a big part of this optimism and why this team and why this offense is going to be so good is because of this offensive line. And it's because some of the weapons that they have with Laporta and Gibbs. I think the expectations are high there. But without that offensive line, the expectations would not be the same. So I think that I'm excited to watch those 5 guys play together finally.
Well, let's stick on that side of the ball. Offensively, what's your biggest concern?
Probably the receiver depth, I would say. Mm-hmm. I think Marvin Jones still has it. I mean, you watched last year Jacksonville, and last week I got bored, watched a couple of his games. I mean, he's still going up and making plays. He's still getting open. He's still, coming down with majority of those 50-50 balls. I think he's a guy that certainly probably not the same type of speed that we saw last year from DJ Chark, but fills that type of role where, hey, if Amon-Ra is going to take up double coverage, if teams start eyeballing Gibbs and Laporta starts, being a threat over the middle, you're going to have another guy on the outside that can win one-on-ones, and I think Marvin can still do that. The depth is just still a little bit concerned, right? I think we can say that, probably about any top players, though, but, heaven forbid if Amon-Ra goes out for a series or a quarter, look at the depth there and it's like, all right, we got to figure it out, right? But that's the beauty of it is Ben Jansen is so creative and just so in tune with his players and what the strengths are and what the weaknesses are and putting the guys in the right spot, in the good position to win and to go out there and just continue to play ball, right? I don't think that they have to worry about, hey, if this guy goes out, we got to change the whole game plan. I don't think that's necessarily how Ben Johnson wants to operate. But I don't know if it's a major concern, but if there was, I want to see these receivers play. I do. You're not going to get into these games and just run the ball for 40 times and control the clock. There's going to be a point probably in Kansas City where you might be down 7, you might be down 10, you might be down 2 scores, and you might have to start throwing the ball a little bit. I want to see which one of these receivers step up and make plays outside of Amon-Ra.
How much, in terms of the pass game, do you think we'll see Laporta versus Wright Mitchell? We didn't see him a lot in the preseason, and that. Yeah. We could debate, as we did, and we have here, over how much starters should play or not.
Yeah.
My concern is more, I am concerned that they didn't play enough, but my concern is that the rookies, the guys that need that experience of what the NFL speed is like, what the NFL game is like, that they didn't get enough reps.
I think they're comfortable with Sam. I think they are. Just reading between the lines here, like he didn't play at all in the last 2 preseason games. That alone lets you know that they're comfortable. They think he's ready to go, or else he would have been out there, right? Jack Campbell was out there the last couple games. They felt like, hey, there's still a competition there. We need to see which one of these guys are going to step up. But I think they just feel comfortable with where Sam Laporta's at, where the workload was that he got in those joint practices against the Giants, against the Jaguars. But you're right, John. Everybody talks about, hey, we got the joint practices in. We don't need to play the games. For me, it was like, in the joint practices, it's great. It is live reps, right? There is some sense of pressure, but you can't simulate the pressure that you feel in the first 3rd and 10,
right?
On Thursday Night Football in Kansas City. You can't simulate that in a joint practice. You just can't. You can't simulate the pressure and the stress that you feel that you got to step up and
can you simulate it against the Jacksonville Jaguars in the second preseason?
More so than you can in practice.
More so in practice, yes. More so in practice. And that's going to be the biggest, I think, question I have, you asked about the offense, just about this team, is how ready are they going to be to go? Because, they didn't play in the preseason, right? No. I don't think there's any magic formula where, hey, this team won the Super Bowl and their starters played a ton in preseason, or this, on the flip side, right? But I will say, we're going to find out real quick if the starters are rusty, if it's a slow start, if guys are trying to get in tune with the NFL speed again. And I'll tell you what, Kansas City, if you start slow, there's a chance you're down 21-0 in the first quarter, and now you're way behind. So that's going to be something to watch as well.